Ebony, you look so cute.
You look so cute. Wow, it's a compliment.
You too, Tay.
Jordan, you're just a badass and everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Courtney, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you guys? How are you feeling after that game?
I want to go to sleep.
I'm just happy it wasn't as long as yesterday.
Yeah, no kidding. And it started an hour earlier. The ones tomorrow will be done so early.
3 p.m., thank God.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll know what to do with ourselves. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Great match tonight. Great competitive play. Both teams excelled very well on the court. We're going to go ahead and open up the floor to questions. We're going to start with Courtney first, and then we'll open up the floor to our media members. Courtney, go ahead.
Yeah, so the first question can go to either Jordan or Deja. It is about the match last night in that first set that went to 37-35. How did you focus on your recovery for entering this match today?
Well, I think first off, everybody just had to recover their bodies. So rest was a huge thing. And I think when we got back together as a team, we were like, okay, we need to focus on staying on them early and kind of just getting that job done. And I think we did that tonight.
Jordan, is there anything that you want to add to that?
I think that here we go. She's going to hop on another laptop. Having difficulties. Here she goes.
I'll ask you another question then really quick. It seemed like you were clicking a little bit more and getting more into the rhythm with Team Larson today and this overall weekend. Can you kind of just comment on that a little bit?
Yeah, so I think this is the first time I've played with some of the girls on this team. And my first time with Bree, and kind of just working on that tempo and making sure I stay high on my swing was really important this week. And I feel like I got the groove there.
Awesome. And then Jordan, I'm just going to jump back to the first question with you. How did you get your team focused on the recovery from last night's match?
Yeah, I was just really proud of our team for our fight yesterday. It was a little bit exhausting, so I just said, hey, try and get some sleep. Even with the time change, it was going to be a challenge, but try and get some sleep. And hey, we have serve and pass in the morning, but just like know your body. Take it easy if you don't want to do anything, and like make sure you try and get a nap and eat well, and then come back like refreshed. And I feel like we showed up well today, especially in the start. And Shayla had a good comment before. It's like, hey, we got to come out focused and like ready to play, because the fatigue is going to set in. So I thought we did that from the start.
Can you kind of just talk about what you think happened in that second set? Do you think it was a lack of focus or the fatigue kind of starting to set in, and then you managed to reset entering the third set?
Yeah, I think probably maybe a lack of focus. Like, I think there was just a couple plays there that we could have turned. But I also give credit to Team Ebony over there. She did a great job of leading her team and coming out, kind of reset in the second set and kind of got us on our heels. But yeah, in general, I think we played pretty consistent throughout.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Thank you so much.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today, ladies. A great competitive match today. We're going to go ahead and start with our questions for you. We're going to start with Courtney, and then we will open the floor to our media members. So Courtney, go ahead.
Hi, ladies. Thank you for such a great match. Symone, my first question is for you. Can you kind of tell me what clicked for you today? We really saw more of like your preseason type of performance in terms of the amount of kills that you were getting today's match.
Yeah, I think I've been putting a lot of pressure on myself. And I think it just got to a certain level, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to treat this like a practice. And so I just stopped thinking so much and just relaxed, I think.
And so for going into next week, you'll have a completely new team lineup. Will you kind of talk with your teammates about that to make sure that you stay in that same headspace?
Definitely. I think that anyone who drafts me is going to know that like I haven't been consistent. And so we have to have a conversation and talk about how, you know, my experience and how I plan to repeat this next week too. So that's going to be important.
Thank you. Thank you for talking about that so openly.
It's okay.
Sherridan, my next question is for you. You obviously came in off the bench this weekend and made a huge difference in your team's outcome. Can you kind of just talk about that and kind of your mindset for it?
Yeah, I think the last 2 weeks I'll just be honest, caught off guard, right, with the draft and how things happen. And it left me in kind of a funk. And, talking to Ty going into this week, I didn't want to be in that funk anymore, right? I'm the person that controls me. So whatever my role is, if it's starting, if it's coming off the bench, like at the end of the day, team points matter the most. And I think you get kind of caught up in leaderboards, stats. Well, how come I'm not this and how come I'm not that? And this game, I was just like, forget it. I just want to play. However that happens is how it happens. So I think I freed myself and that allowed me just to play.
Awesome. And then Aury, for you ended up getting the final kill in every single set from today. How did you kind of get into that groove and just really connect well with Sam?
It's something like I've been talking like all the time that we need to run the pipe. It doesn't matter like in system or out of system. So just like be ready and like, we having that connection like today, like the communication with everybody between setters and blocking and defense back row. It was perfect. So it just helped like a lot to our game runs.
Mm-hmm. And then you've been on the same team as Leah now for 2 weeks in a row. Can you just talk a little bit about your guys' connection and the relationship that you have in terms of communication?
We know like we just be there like to help each other and like, have like our own roles. So like that's the thing, like just play your A game. You play your A game, I'll play my A game, we'll helping the team to win.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, ladies. Those are all my questions for today.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Courtney. We're now going to open the floor to our media members. Again, please state your name and affiliation for our players. John, go ahead with your first question.
My name is John Robleski with Global Traveler Magazine. My first question is for Symone. I read that you really love Chicago. I was just wondering what exactly you love in Chicago and when you started loving Chicago.
I went to school there, so seeing it in a college sphere made me just fall in love with it. We would go downtown and go to restaurants a lot. The fact that there's like 3 geographical, like there's water, there's like beach, city, and suburb within like a 20-mile radius. So that's insane. The summers are the most amazing part. Winters are tough, but I'm overseas, so I don't have to experience it. So whenever the summer comes, I go to Chicago and live there for a few months.
Oh, cool. Thank you very much.
Of course.
And Sherridan, I read that you started out, how did you go from being wanting to study music at Juilliard to becoming a volleyball player?
Pretty simple, honestly. I just grew up in a musical family, played the violin since I was 8 up until high school, and act, dance, sang, all that stuff. And then I literally was asked to play volleyball like my freshman year, and they were like, hey, you're tall, why don't you go ahead and get in there? So that's that on that. I tried out for my middle school team. I didn't make it. So I just thought like volleyball just isn't going to be my thing. And here we are. Crazy how God works. Yeah.
Well, great game today. And
Thank
lastly, Aury, how did it feel to be elected into the Florida Hall of Fame?
It was like something like when I went to school, I was not like expecting, but I think it means like a lot, like everything that I did in that volleyball program, especially like at school. And for me, it's an honor like to be next to like great athletes that they went to the same school. So I'm feel really proud. Obviously I'm also like an ambassador for young girls like in Puerto Rico. They really want to go to school in the United States, and and just bringing like giving that idea that first you're a student and then you're an athlete.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Okay, welcome everybody. Ladies, great competition tonight, great match. Outstanding performances all around. We'll go ahead and get started. So Courtney, if you want to go ahead and get started with your questions, please.
Sure. My first question is for NBA. What did you and your team discuss coming into this match tonight for facing Team Larson defensively?
Nomaris, ¿qué hablaron antes que este juego hoy en la noche? ¿Qué era la estrategia entrando para jugar contra Team Larson?
Bueno, principalmente estudiamos las tendencias de cada jugadora, pero al final decidimos enfocarnos en nuestro lado, en nuestro equipo. Nosotros trabajar nuestro juego y nosotros sabíamos que jugando nuestro juego íbamos a salir con la victoria.
Coming in, they first started looking at every player on the team to see how their play was, but in the end, they just focused on their side of the court and what they needed to do together as a team to execute and play a well match.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jordan, what do you feel like could have gone better on your side of the net?
You know, I thought sorry, is my microphone? Yeah, sorry. I thought throughout the whole thing, we stayed in it. I thought we started off the match really strong, and I think we kind of had a lull there in the second. Again, started off strong in the third. I don't know. I always felt like we were in the match. I didn't feel like we were not in it, and continuing to try to push through. And but overall, I'm just really proud of our team. I think we played well together and we gelled well together. It was a really fun group.
Thank you. And then last question is for you, Kelly. It looks like you might be a captain this week. Are you already thinking about your draft strategy? Or you're going to wait until tomorrow?
Probably wait. I think it'll kind of be a little bit of I think Leah was talking about it last week, saying like seeing who other people pick and then kind of basing it off of that. So I think it'll kind of just be one of those situations where you have to kind of see how the draft goes because every draft is so different. So I'll probably focus on it tomorrow.
Okay, great. Thank you. Those are all my questions.